Hello, my name is Ursula, and this is a review of one of my favorite books of the last year. This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El-Matar and Max Gladstone is an adult sci-fi novella in which two rival time agencies are working to ensure that their future is the one that succeeds. They do this through the use of two time agents known in the book only as Red and Blue. This book follows these two characters as they begin exchanging letters and go from enemies and rivals to maybe something more. While there are many reasons that I think people should read this book, the three that really stood out to me are the writing, the format, and the characters, and how these elements work together. The first thing that drew me to this book was the writing. I think that it is lyrical, poetic, and it uses language in a way that I really hadn't seen in a book previously. I thought that it was emotional and imaginative, and it was how I first felt deeply connected to the characters and the story and everything that was happening. Here's an example of some of that writing. Blue is braiding grasses between her fingers. It looks like purest idleness. A long-haired woman at day's end, painted in sunset, cross-legged near the river, weaving for pleasure. She is not making baskets or nets, not even crowns or garlands for the children running barefoot nearby. What she does is study. What she does is play in 6 dimensions, a game of chess in which every piece is a game of Go, whole boards of black and white stones dancing around each other, pushed, knights turned rooks, iterations of Atari carefully constructing checkmate. She lays grass over grass over grass and studies not only the geometries of green, but the calculus of scent and heat, the thermodynamics of understory, the velocity of birdsong. I think this is an example of how the book is almost a little bit quirky, how it is a little bit wordy, but how those words add to the character of the story, not just to the characters themselves. Next is the format and how it works with the writing. While many books use one point of view or maybe even 2 or 3 to tell their stories, This Is How You Lose the Time War uses the 2 points of view, Red and Blue, or narration about them. And between every chapter is a letter. This adds to the emotional depth because we get to see into their thoughts and their feelings as worded by themselves rather than just outside narration about what's going on in their lives. I think, as I said, this works with the writing to really enhance the book. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, are the characters. This book is very much a character-driven book, not a plot-driven book. Each character, Red and Blue, comes from a different society. Red society is a tech-based society, while Blue's society is more nature-based. As Blue says in one of her letters, "My viney hivey elf world, as you say, versus your techie-mechie dystopia." Obviously, this shows the differences that they have between where they come from. However, through their letters, we begin to see that they have a lot more in common than they thought they did. One thing as the readers that we see as a common point between the two of them is their ability to change their appearance for whatever their mission may require. An example of this is Red, hard-ridden for days, dismounts within the wood. She wears a thick grey dell belted with silk around her waist, and a fur hat covers her hair, preserving her scalp from the chill. She walks heavily. She broadens her shoulders. She has played this role for at least a decade. Women ride with the horde, but she is a man now, so far as those who give her orders and follow hers in return are concerned. Through their letters, they come together and realize that they, as I said, have more in common than they do different, even while their societies are so different from one another. In fact, by the end of the book, they realize that they've come to care more about their future together than that of their respective societies. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast, and I hope that you are able to enjoy this book just as much as I did.